Welcome back. Just about 8:22 on your Tuesday. Happening this Thursday, the Green Apple Pantry is hosting its annual Fall Gala. Nancy Crumley is the executive director of the Green Apple Pantry and is live with us in studio. Thanks so much for waking up with us, Nancy.
Thank you for having me. This is fun.
Excited to have you. You brought this cool setup as well. So tell us about, first, the mission of the Green Apple Pantry.
Well, we are a pantry that is located in Southeast Grand Rapids, and we serve 45 square miles of Kentwood, Grand Rapids, and Caledonia. And we are there to support the community in any way that we can to provide food for the neighbors.
Awesome.
Can you tell us a little bit more about the impact to the local community on a day-to-day basis?
The impact is huge. We have seen since 2022 that our numbers have gone up by about 100%.
Whoa.
So the numbers keep growing and growing. And many of our neighbors come, once in a while, once every couple months, but they can come every 4 weeks. We're serving about 1,600 individuals, about 600 families every month.
Wow, those are big numbers. And so
yes,
that makes this event all the more important. You have
absolutely,
this fundraiser every year. Tell us what's in store this year.
This is really exciting. It's going to be at the KC Banquet Center on Clyde Park. And it's our only fundraiser that brings money into the community for us to use to purchase food and put gas in our vehicles so that we can pick up food. And so it's really important, especially for small nonprofits, to have these kind of fundraisers. And this year we've chosen the theme of steampunk for something different and exciting.
I love that. So tell us a little bit more about the theme itself.
Yes.
You've got the hat,
Yep,
all the
glasses.
Yes, everything go along with it.
Yeah, tell us more about this.
Okay, so we're hoping that people will come either dressed as they are or who they would like to be. And steampunk, we all know, is a kind of a made-up era of the industrial age and Victorian, when we were really moving forward as a nation and finding new ways to create opportunities and inventions and all of those great things. And so that's what we are all about at the pantry, is creating opportunities for our neighbors and reinventing ourselves so that we can have more opportunities for food as well.
Excellent. I think sometimes community members, they don't go to the pantry, and so it's just sort of out of sight, out of mind for them.
Right.
But talk about how this really does sort of support the community as a whole.
It does. And I always say that by the grace of God go I. We never know when we might be in a situation where we might need some extra help. Maybe it's loss of a job, a divorce, a large car or medical expense. Maybe it's a family member moving in that we didn't expect. And so to have a pantry that, no questions asked, you just come and we will serve you and provide you with food. The biggest thing is that we want them to live in our area, because why would you drive 20 miles to get food when there might be a pantry in your neighborhood? But nonetheless, we are there to serve the community in any way we can. Take some of that burden away.
So from the event itself, can you explain a little bit more of where that money goes towards and how the funds are distributed?
Yep. So that money goes towards all the operations of the pantry. Okay. And so it helps keep the lights on. It helps pay for, we only have 4 staff members, so we're very, very small. We are supported hugely by volunteers, but it puts gas in our vehicles so that we can go out and pick up food, and then it buys food for the community. So we have Thanksgiving coming up, and that's a huge purchase for us to buy Thanksgiving food with all the trimmings for families. And every few months, there's another big expense that's coming our way.
Yeah, I mean, that's absolutely right. It seems that way in life, that every few months we're really planning for that next holiday or that next big event.
Right, or the next big expense in our own families, maybe a big car payment or a big expense of a car repair. And so, yeah, we're the same way with a small nonprofit.
Absolutely. And you just mentioned this. You've only got 4 staff members, which I'm sure means you're relying heavily on volunteers.
Our volunteers are amazing. We have people that, give of time and talent and financial support, and then people that are there, boots on the ground, helping our neighbors, helping us stock shelves and glean food and sort food. We are gleaning about 45,000 pounds of food a month.
Wow.
Last year alone, we gleaned over 477,000 pounds of food. Imagine that's food that went to hungry families and not in a landfill.
Excellent.
Yeah, that's so important. We waste so much food.
We do waste a lot. Yep.
And it's great when
it doesn't have to happen.
when that doesn't have to happen.
Exactly.
So for people who maybe can't attend the event, what are some ways that they can support?
Well, we are always We would love to have people support us financially because that's the biggest piece. So, go to our website, go to our Facebook, stop in and drop off a check. Those are always extremely helpful. But if you're interested in supporting the pantry with, again, boots on the ground and you'd like to be a volunteer, we welcome new volunteers. We're also always looking for board members and people that have anything else that they want to contribute, like planning events such as this one.
Excellent, excellent. How do you all keep the pantry full? I mean, are there certain places you turn to where you're getting the food from?
You know what? Thank you for asking that because there are some wonderful, wonderful partnerships in the community. We are supported by the Aldi stores. We're supported by Whole Foods.
Nice.
We're supported by Country Fresh and Bimbo Bakery.
So you're getting some good stuff.
Yes. Meyer Simply Give, the big LPGA tournament that happens in the spring, that is a big supporter of us. So yes, we are heavily, heavily supported by the community. And without community support, nonprofits could not exist.
Excellent.
Absolutely. Now, obviously, it's not going to stop at this event. Do you have anything else planned for this year?
We do not have any other fundraisers planned, but we do have our Thanksgiving giveaways that are starting in November, and then we'll have a big federal commodity that we distribute in December. And on the day before, which I believe is December 2nd, we will pack 600 boxes, and on December 3rd, we will distribute 600 boxes.
Wow. So. Really great work that you're doing. And to hear from all of those different partners that you have, I mean, these are places that offer fresh fruit, produce, fruits, veggies. I mean, are these things that you all are able to offer in the pantry now?
Absolutely, absolutely. And we're supported by places like Starbucks and Amazon. Think of those as big international companies, and yet they give back local. And that's really important, I think, for everybody to know because, Aldi's is international, Whole Foods is international, Starbucks is international, and yet they're concerned about what is happening in their own communities.
That's really great to hear. Can you speak a little bit more to the recent increase in need for food support?
Yeah, we're pretty amazed by that because as we went through COVID, we saw a big jump and then things kind of quieted down and all of a sudden we're seeing the need again and lots of new families coming for the first time. Some of it is word of mouth, some of it is events like this where people then hear about us. But the need is great in the community, and many of our neighbors don't come all the time. As I said before, they might come every few months or only a couple times a year, really when they need it. And so we're just seeing more and more and more.
Well, I love that you said that there are no questions asked. Can you quickly sort of walk us through what that process looks like?
Sure.
You show up at the pantry?
Yes. So what happens is our neighbors show up and they bring an ID. We ask a piece of mail just because Kentwood is really diverse and we have many multi-generational families all living under one roof. So if someone says they have 8 or 10 people, they likely have 8 or 10 people. And we want to make sure we have enough food for everybody. That's all they have to do. They might have to wait in line for a couple minutes, but we serve them and we get them in and out very, very quickly.
Nice.
So
it's worth the wait for sure.
It is worth the wait, absolutely.
Can people still go to the
event? Yes, we would love to have you come. Tickets are still available. Tickets will be available at the door. It's from 6 to 9 at the, as I said, KC Banquet Center on Clyde Park. And please join us and come in costume if you will.
Yes.
Yeah, it sounds like so much fun. I know you said that everyone is now on board with the theme. Maybe something different for you all though this year.
Yeah, it's very exciting to have our board members and staff and volunteers all saying, I want to do this. It'll be fun.
Really fun stuff. We hope that you all get the support for this really good organization and what you all are doing for the community.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you,
Spread
Nancy.
the word about us. We want people to know that we're there and when they need food to please come and see us.
Yeah, we want them to know too.
Yeah,
So thank you so much for joining us live, Nancy.
Thank you.